everyone, it's so lovely to see you. Today we have another video around Is It Worth It, where I am trying to get my hands on really expensive things and then testing them out and just letting you guys know what I think of it really, because like I've said before, when something comes with a really high price tag, you just kind of automatically have really high expectations. So I've done a couple of videos already on this and I've actually found it really interesting and a lot of fun, because when you can get your hands on things that are really expensive, which, you know, for me that's not a regular thing, it's just even more exciting to think, if I actually had this money, would I be happy with what I've just received? So today we have a perfume, and I don't think I've actually ever done a review on perfume before, and it's a bit tricky. I've watched a few other people on YouTube do perfume reviews, and it's actually really interesting, I think, when you listen to how other people describe the same scent that you're smelling. I actually found it really interesting in terms of how something smells to someone else, what it smells like on your own skin with your own like pH and all the rest of it. So the item we have today is this one from Amouage, I think that's how you pronounce it, and it's their Sunshine perfume. This is a sample, I've got it right here. Pretty generous sample in a nice spray bottle. I got it through the Feel Unique pick and mix service, like so many things that I'm trying at the moment. If you're not familiar with the service, it's on Feel Unique's website, and I don't know how long they've been doing it for, but I just feel like no one seemed to really know about it, so I did a review on the service, which, spoiler alert, I think is absolutely brilliant. It's just a really fantastic way of introducing you to stuff that you probably wouldn't just go out and buy yourself. Maybe it's expensive or you're not sure about it, so it's a really good way of trying before you buy. And all you do is you pick 5 different items from their boutique and just pay for postage. And then if you do end up really liking one of those items, then you can get your postage deducted off paying for the item full price. So it's pretty cool really. There were a few things that I wanted to get. I think it was last month I did this, and I was looking for like the number 5 thing to get. And I was looking and looking, and I thought maybe I'll have a look at the perfumes, because I don't mind getting perfume samples. I am super fussy when it comes to perfumes. I don't actually own that many. And then I saw this one, and I don't know what made me click on it, because it doesn't show you a price of how much stuff is. Maybe they should do that when you're looking through like the boutique. And I clicked on it and it said it was £250. And I just thought, I guess I always thought that perfumes within that price point existed, but never in my lifetime did I think that I would be able to sample one. They had a few others by the same brand as well, which were cheaper, but of course I just instantly thought, I've got to find out what a £250 perfume smells like. I'd be mad to pass this opportunity up. So I got it, and I thought I would just do a little video on it. It's probably going to be a fairly short one because it's a perfume at the end of the day. Before I get into my thoughts on this ridiculously expensive perfume, let's just quickly hop onto Google and read up a little bit more about the brand and about the perfume and what we can expect from it. So it's a pretty basic website, and you can see that they've described it as being like a ray of sunshine smiling upon a bouquet of white floral, and there's some information about the different notes in the perfume. The website I prefer to use to find out about perfume is actually one called Fragrantica, which is this one here. Fragrantica is actually a perfume encyclopedia, and people who are registered to the website are able to choose different things about a perfume that they believe to be the case. So for this particular perfume, you can see how people have chosen to describe it in terms of its main accords. It's also got some information in terms of when people prefer to wear it, what season, day or night, and whether they liked it or not. And they also get to vote on what notes they believe that they could detect as well. And a bit further down you also get information on reviews, and you can actually read what people think about the perfume itself. It's a really fantastic website and resource for perfume information, so if you're interested in perfume and maybe want to check out some of the perfumes that you own just to see how people describe them, I'd encourage you to do it because it's really, really interesting. So as you saw, probably the best place to look at perfume reviews and information if you're not familiar is the website Fragrantica. I use it all the time. I think it's amazing. You get reviews from real people, you can read about how things sit on their skin, you can look at how people have described it in terms of whether it lingers, what kind of notes they got. I just think it's a brilliant website, so if you're not familiar, that's a really good place to look, because if you know what kind of notes you're looking for in a perfume and you want to compare it maybe to one that you've already got, that is such a good place to start because it's got so much information on there. So love that website. When I first got this, I made the really foolish mistake of, instead of smelling it first, I literally took the top off and went shh, shh, and yeah, that was a big mistake because boy, oh boy, is this stuff strong. I've put some more on today, and literally all I did was, I was in my bedroom and I sprayed up into the air quite high, and then I literally just went like that with my arm, and that was enough. I'm not a big fan of those strong, heady perfumes, and that is definitely what this is. It's described as being an oriental floral, which I would go along with when I compare it to people that I know who kind of wear those kind of perfumes. It definitely sits within that family. So for me, it's the kind of perfume that kind of whacks you around the head in that really heady, musky, earthy, spicy kind of way, which is pretty much every single thing I dislike within perfume. So we're off to a flying start already. In terms of how it smells today, because on the day that I sprayed it on my neck, I literally smelt it all day, and it got to the point where it was giving me a bit of a headache and I just didn't feel very well and I hated it, and I thought, wow, okay, this is going to be a really short review when I film it. But I learnt by my mistake the first time, and what I did today, like I said, was I put a very, very light layer on my arm, because also I thought if it does get too much, I should be able to scrub it off a bit easier than if I had it here. I've had this on for about 2 hours now, and it's really mellowed. It's still not my cup of tea, but I can at least smell it without kind of recoiling straight away because it's so nasty. I don't know why they're describing this as sunshine, and the fact that it's a spring floral kind of summer fragrance, I don't get that from it at all. This to me, because it is quite spicy and it's got like a warmth to it, but not a warm sunshiny like they're probably describing it. It's just like a warm, cuddly, kind of blankety. I'm really sorry if this description is terrible, but this is kind of what it makes me think of when I smell it. So to me, it's definitely more for like the autumn, winter time of year. I think you probably could wear it all year round, but to me, that's kind of what I think of when I smell it. I am in no way a perfumier, so I wouldn't be able to necessarily distinguish the individual notes that are in there, so I'm just going to describe what I can smell, okay? It really reminds me, and I'm not the only person to have said this because I did a very quick poll this morning with a few people that I know, and it smells a bit like old ladies. You know the kind of perfume that old ladies wear, where they're kind of just like, oh, this is going to sound... it's going to sound so awful, but this is just what it's bringing to mind. Like old ladies in kind of tweed skirt suits. That's kind of what I think of. It's almost quite a spicy vanilla kind of scent as well. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm getting much of a floral or definitely not a fruity vibe from it at all. Maybe a heady floral, but definitely nothing fruity. They say that one of the most obvious notes within this perfume, I think, is the white tobacco. I don't actually know what that smells like, and if that's something that sits within a lot of heady perfumes, that could be the one component that I don't like. It's okay. I mean, I don't hate it as much as I did the first time I used it, but I think that's just because I used it unbelievably sparingly. When I watched a few other people on YouTube review this perfume, because it's been reviewed a few times, people were saying that they spray it like 3 times, and I'm just thinking, are you crazy? What, like literally getting, you know, 3 proper sprays? There's no way I could do that. It would be way too strong. And I think people would smell you coming from an absolute mile off. And then once you'd walked through, they'd still be smelling you. Because I went into the bedroom where I'd sprayed it and I can still smell it in the air. So, hey, if someone can make a fragrance like that I actually really like that stays in the air, then let me know. Because it really still smells. Not sure if I'd spend that much on a room fragrance, but hey. I suppose what it really comes down to is whether I think it's worth it or not. And that is quite a tricky one, because I think to the right person who's maybe got the budget in mind to spend on this kind of perfume, then it probably is worth it. I don't know a huge amount about perfume, and I'm sure that it does use very luxurious, expensive, amazing ingredients, and it does last a really long time. So compared to other perfumes that I've used that kind of are gone within a few hours at best, this literally lasts all day, and you need the tiniest amount. I mean, why anyone would use more than even one whole spray directly on the skin, I think you'd be crazy, because to me, perfume should just be an extension of your personality. It shouldn't be too obvious. It should just be an added layer of interest about you that people kind of catch a little drift of and they think, oh, that's really nice. Whereas I think if you did 3 sprays of this, you'd be going around and kind of virtually punching everyone in the face. It's that strong. And I believe that this is the least strong perfume in their entire collection. So that's intriguing. I'm almost tempted to try another one, but I know that I'm probably not going to like it. If you have the budget for this kind of perfume and you like something that smells warm and comforting and spicy and kind of a little bit vanilla-y and quite musky as well, then I'm sure you'll probably really like this perfume. But if you're like me and you like something quite clean and light and fresh and floral, I'm still hunting for a really nice citrus orangey perfume. Not found it yet. But if you're like that kind of person where you like those kind of scents, you ain't gonna like this at all, because it is very strong. I can't really see how a perfume could be worth £250. That's for the 100ml size. So if you broke it down, and I don't know if you can buy it in any kind of smaller sizes, a 30ml bottle on that kind of price per mil will work out to £75, which is still a lot of money, but I honestly think if you could buy a bottle that small, it would last you for a really long time, because like I keep saying, you really don't need very much at all. To those people out there who overspray their perfume and are knocking the rest of us out, take note, please, because you're giving everyone a headache. You know, not everyone likes these really strong, heady, musky, spicy perfumes. I think also, I don't really understand why this is directed at women specifically. I don't know what the men's version of Sunshine smells like, but I think a man or a woman could wear this. There's nothing really that sort of screams this is a woman's perfume. Whether it would smell completely different on a man, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have to test it on my husband. He'll love that. It is obviously on the higher end of the spectrum in terms of price, and I do struggle to get my head around why it has that kind of high price point. I thought I'd encountered and been aware of most of the sort of mainstream expensive perfumes that you can get, but when I saw the price of this, it just really boggled my mind as to how it could be that much. If you've smelt this perfume, let me know in the comments what you think of it and whether you think my description kind of makes sense to you, because I know it's not probably the best description in the world, but those are the kind of words and things that I think of when I do smell it. So that is it for this quick little review of the Amouage very expensive Sunshine perfume. I probably will be giving the rest of this sample away, because there's no way I'm going to be getting through the rest of this. I've sprayed it a good few times, and yeah, there's still quite a lot left, so I don't think I'll be getting through that anytime soon. I'd be really intrigued to know what the most expensive perfume is that you found as well. Have you found something that can top £250? I'd be really intrigued. It's like a whole other world. So let me know in the comments if you've seen anything else that's crazy expensive. But that is it from me today. I hope you're all really well, and I will see you again soon. Bye! Ultimate hit list of the perfect foundation would be good coverage, natural looking, lasts all day, doesn't make me oily. I think that covers it.